How's it going, everyone? This is Tom of RedmanPie.com. The HTC One M8 has been out for just under a week now, and definitely one of the most engaging features of this new phone is the new duo camera. This, in short, allows you to quote-unquote refocus an image after you've taken it. We're going to talk about this a little bit later on in the video, but let's just head straight in. HTC have stuck with their ultra-pixel branding for the rear-facing camera on this phone, and the count stays at 4 ultra-pixels for the bottom sensor. This shoots video at full 1080p, up to 60 frames per second. On the front of the phone, however, there's actually a higher resolution camera at a 5-megapixel front-facing shooter for all your selfies. So starting off, let's talk a little bit about the actual camera interface on HTC Sense 6. This is a significant upgrade from the last iteration of HTC's camera application. You simply tap the bottom left button to change modes, and this kind of brings up a panel of 6 options, which are all very quick and easy to access. For instance, here you can change to select a panoramic image, a dual capture, which takes both a picture from the front-facing camera and the rear-facing camera and then stitches them together. This has been seen on the Samsung Galaxy software as well. There's HTC Zoe in there as well, and also a selfie mode, which is basically just the front-facing camera, video, and a standard camera shooter. On the actual camera view itself, you get a lot more manual control than we're used to on a smartphone. You can manually adjust the ISO you're taking the image at, change the exposure value and white balance manually, and then of course you get a few more standard things like filters. One thing that really impressed me is how quick the shutter is on the M8. It's pretty much instantaneous, making taking photos very quickly pretty simple. So now let's chat about the new duo camera functionality within the HTC One M8. This is one of the more interesting features of the newest generation HTC. The only thing is, the implementation isn't as solid as I'd like it to be. The theory is that you take a photo which is relatively well focused throughout the entire shot, and then pinpoint it where you'd like to be the sharpest, and it will essentially target that area for focusing. Contrary to what people are actually believing, it's not actually refocusing the shot. For example, you can't take an out of focus shot and then refocus it using the U-Focus technology from HTC. It's pretty much all software trickery. This is a bit wishy-washy as it stands. Hopefully it will be improved with the software update from HTC. And I've actually found this mode to provide a pretty cool makeshift depth of field. If you focus on the area you originally wanted to shoot with the shot, it creates a pretty realistic depth of field effect, which just isn't possible with smartphone cameras at the moment. At this point, the duo camera seems a little bit gimmicky. Here's hoping HTC will only improve it in the future. It's worth noting about the flash on the back of the One too. This uses a two-tone flash design similar to the one found on the iPhone 5S. I've actually found it works really well, adapting to the scene to create a warmer colour depending on your environment. I tend not to use flashes on my photos, but if you do, you won't be disappointed with this one. Right, so let's get on to some stills from the rear-facing camera. I went out on a pretty sunny day here in the UK, so the lighting is all quite bright, and I found that the camera stills to be good, but they're not great. In bright light, the colours seem to wash out slightly, whereas if you have a well-lit, evenly distributed light scene, the camera does extremely well. The original HTC One did particularly well in low-light situations, and it seems that the new ultra-pixels don't disappoint here, but aren't as special as the last generation in low-light. Overall, I'd say that the camera stills have improved as a whole. A lot of detail is retained, but they lack a certain punch that is represented with camera phones like the iPhone 5S, the Galaxy Note 3, or even camera titans like the Nokia Lumia 1020. Video from the rear-facing camera is a slightly better story, at least it is in my opinion. Detail is pretty solid and colours are represented well. It's a little bit of a letdown that there's no optical image stabilization though. Even when leaning up against something to get shots, the camera does seem a bit overly shaky. It's important to remember what this is though. This isn't going to be a dedicated video camera for anyone. It's definitely going to get the job done if you're looking to record a quick shot of friends or family, or of a scene you just want to remember. It produces 1080p video and it gets the job done. I've recorded a front-facing camera demo video from the 5-megapixel camera. I'll let you make your own mind about this one. It's a pretty windy scene, but the best thing is definitely how wide the lens on the front is. How's it going, guys? So, I'm on a hill at the moment. It's pretty windy. This is the front-facing camera. As you can see, it's super wide angle. It's quite windy, so I'm not sure if you can kind of make out my audio here. You might just be hearing wind, but it'll be a good test. There we have it, guys. That's a look at how the new camera on the HTC One M8 performs. We'll of course be bringing you more coverage on this device. So far, it's shaping up to be one hell of a smartphone, definitely one of the best of the year. It's on track for at least, though it is slightly lacking on the camera side compared to other flagship phones like the iPhone 5S or maybe Samsung Galaxy S5. Be sure to subscribe to Redman Pie to be notified when we upload new videos, and we'll see you next time.